Hello and welcome back. We're going to be calling this one episode 4 of our Disco Elysium playthrough. Last episode it ended with our unknown detective missing, trying to shoot down the body and missing, and that reduced his morale by 1. We'd already lost 1 when we failed to jump to get the cloak. So it reduced it to 0 and then he quit. And that was the end. So I thought rather than playing through the whole thing again, I just loaded the last save. I've played it up until where we are now, which is where we were before. I picked the same choices and everything. So we should be back to square one. I just didn't want to play through the whole thing again because I'm enjoying the story, but I think it would get a bit repetitive just doing the same things over and over again. So we're going to try and move it along. Now, before we start trying to get this body down, obviously this morale is an issue, and we can't... Oh, healed. Oh, well, that was easy. What did we use to heal that? Items. I don't really... It doesn't look like I have anything that could... No, I don't know why we could increase that. But anyway, I guess that's a buffer now, so that's good to know that if the morale drops to 0, it's game over. Cool. So now that we're back up to it, so we're trying to get the body down. Kuno told us about the foreman or whoever it was down at the harbour who kind of knew something about this. Kuno also said that the armor that this guy's wearing, he threw some of it into the water. The gardener out the front is keeping an eye out on us, but I don't think there's anything too suspicious about that. And I think that's about all we know. So let's try this again. So we need to talk about getting the body down again. Okay. So I haven't done this. Can someone else do it? And this is where we talked about, like, we get the processing people, and he just talked about how that they're no good at it. Let's try shooting it down again. We'll get Kim to try and shoot it down. And then if Kim misses, then we're not going to do it. I think that's probably the best way. Because I don't know if this here is random. Say nothing again. Yeah, so he misses. That's fine. Yep, he was standing wrong. We'll say it's okay. Alright. Let's conclude that. You know, feel bad, too bad for a shot yourself. No, okay. So we're not gonna... Let's ask the harbour. I was avoiding asking the harbour because we think that some of the union workers are involved in this murder. Okay, I was really hoping we wouldn't... The union appear to be suspects in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down. I would really prefer if there was another way. These people might have it in an agenda. But what else can we do? Yeah, let's reconsider some other options. Well, maybe because we've got the extra morale now, we try and take the shot. Yeah, let's feel the weight again. Point the gun at the belt buckle. It was 42%. Do we close our left eye first? So it's 42%. Let's close our left eye first. Your field of view narrows. The burnt slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, catching the noon light as the corpse slowly rotates. The slow movement of the branch in the wind and your shoulders directing the gun sync up, dancing hypnotically. Oh, it's 58 now. Fingers crossed. Perfect. Hand-eye coordination. The bottle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir. With your hand numb from the recoil, you look at the body slump down. For a moment, the man appears to kneel in front of you, looking straight at you, helpless, trapped within itself. Who killed you? The hanged man. Communism. It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from, only that it's right. Then the rigor in the muscle gives up. He smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench. Cool. Get him down, gain experience, level up. You've been policed. RCM, baby, RCM. How did I do that? Who's laughing now, you little shit? Let's not seem too surprised. Where's the professional approach? How did I do that? By being a damn good shot. Aces high. The lieutenant raises his right hand, waiting for you to slap it. The aces high, custom invented by the aerostatic brigades during revolution, is used to celebrate success in revolture, especially in sports. The gesture is spread across the world despite defeat of the revolutionaries themselves. Let's slap it. With the gun in your hand. Thought gained aces high. The lieutenant takes a little hop to perform a customary salutation. Your palm hurts from the slap. It's precise and down to the point. I knew these guys were... his voice is deeply not approving. Yeah, Kuno cracks with laughter. Sounds like someone strangling a cigar. It's clear he enjoys himself. I knew they suck each other off. What now? Perform field autopsy. Jeez. We'll perform the field autopsy and determine the cause of death. But before, excuse me, he needs to turn away from the corpse. Slump on the ground like that has not improved the way the corpse smells. The fall seems to have released something deep inside. It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the autopsy. Wait, field autopsy? Yes, he covers his nose. The 4 phases of a murder scene. 1, investigation of the scene. I can't say I'm satisfied with that part yet. I still want to know what's in the trash container. He points to it. Oh, that's right, we got the key. 2, initial examination of the victim. We were exhaustive in our efforts there. Good job. 3, field autopsy. This will not be pleasant or easy and will have to be performed on the scene. The fuck they on about? Cops are going to cut this shit up next. 4 and final, transport of the coroner's case to district morgue. I'll do that, the lieutenant stops. God, he stinks. Don't we have someone else for the autopsy, like a doctor? No, you and I, detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. From crime scene to autopsy to cleanup, we do it all. Yes, I feel like a detective. Your station would not have assigned you to the case otherwise. The case is important. Alright, he can have his gun back. In the meanwhile, we should try to interview Everett Clare, the leader of the union. So that's the one that Kuno mentioned. The leader of the union. Harbour property was clearly used in the hanging because the belt was like an airlifter belt or something. The harbour just east of here. Getting in might prove a challenge. Or we could ask around for the representatives of the logistics company. My initial information says the Wild Pines have sent some sort of strike negotiator to wrangle control back from Everett. Reaction speed. You could ask the gardener for directions. Is this the famous list of initial interviews? Yes. And those were the interviewees. Let's go. Alright, so we got to level up. So last time we did 1 in logic, 1 in perception, and this was one that we got to pick, I think, at the start. So, alright. Should I put something in one of my lower ones? But they're not really they're not the strengths we're going with. We are going with the intellect and the motorics. So, encyclopedia, rhetoric, conceptualization, interfacing, Pick locks and pockets. Info. Interfacing wants you to connect to machines to use and improve them because it makes you a better human organism. Able to interact with machines, but how to repair the motor of Kanemi motor carriage, how to analyze the way suspect use a pen. It even lets you steal key off a ring without being noticed. At high levels, it isolates you from society. Why bother with people when you can talk to machines? Well, we're not at high levels yet, so I reckon this might be good. Yeah, let's do that. Cool. So what are our tasks? God, we don't even have a map. Alright, interview the Wild Pines rep. Interview the union boss. Perform field autopsy. Explore the whirling secret pattern. That was that blue door in the kitchen. Open trash container, which we can do now. We got the photo of the victim's tattoo. Run the number of the victim's armor, the serial number. Track down gun, badge. Find out who is in the union box. Oh, that's the restaurant. Pay for damages. Who made the call recording the crime? End of day brief with Kim at 22. Okay. The pissing competition is just about the precinct. Ask him about it after the inspection of the dead body. Okay, so... And then we've got this as well. I still don't fully understand these. A lot of learning, steep learning, which I have no problem with. Temporary research. 1 empathy towards Kim. Research time. Well, let's finish this one. We'll have a look at more of these a bit later, I think. Because I don't really know what they are at the moment. Did we get a new item? Keys. Okay. Can we inspect it? Or is that just... Use interact button in inventory to inspect the item. Is that not what I'm doing? Oh, yeah. An intricate web of blue lines stretch across the torso of the hanged man from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddles his skin. It still kind of looks like a roadmap of the stars in the night sky, but something's not right. Who are you? Gone. What's the meaning of this tattoo? For you to discover, you've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Someone who knows about history could tell you. Okay, that's fine. Let's open the trash thing and then we can talk to Kim because we've inspected the body. Open padlock with the key. With the word crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. What's this? Just a feeling, a warning, some part of you. Oh my god. Am I going to die again? No, open it. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. See soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. We're just in time, the lieutenant. This hasn't been emptied for over a week. Look under the box of cartons. You see milk, egg, an egg rest with 1 broken egg in it, some pasta wrapper. Pick up the soggy packages. Somehow feels familiar. You've done it. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows. The methodology in your fingers. You're used to this. Used to what? No, let's just dive further. A box falls into pieces in your hand. Batiste Salig cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. Let's pick up the rags. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers. Grab them. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begun to unspool from the garbage rank, a rank corpse smell fills the air. Are these the victim's clothes? The smell is not nearly as bad as the cadaver. These clothes could not have been in contact with the deceased for more than 2 days after his death. The lieutenant smells them. Cadaverine odour is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in early stages of decay. The lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket. Drop them in here. By early stages, you mean these were taken from him no more than 2 days after his death? Yes. If we're still assuming the clothes were taken off to get to the armour, they must have stripped him of it fast, the scavengers, in a matter of days. Bagged them. Kim quickly searched the jeans. Guitar, marked blue jeans, pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt too, a wide belt, the loops appear stretched. But he looks into the gun. The belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here. Something slimy catches your eye. Let's reach for it. A drab long-sleeve shirt, olive-coloured, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus. Bag the shirt. This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is a kind of rib-knit shirt worn over light armour to conceal it in urban scenario. Anything more? Perception. The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste, a yellow old mug that catches your eye, but other than that, I've thrown out, that's all. Alright, we should go to guard again and ask him how he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard, or that one, he nods towards the red-haired boy behind him. I'd advise against confronting that force. You think someone from the whirling might have been involved? Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in a trash, the lid was locked, this establishment had the key, it's just a small loose thread. Okay. Lieutenant nods and he looks back in the trash container. Search the food waste. Just organic waste, cold and slimy in your hands, apple, potato peels, mostly unidentified sludge and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure, but hey. What's this? What? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny, it looks like the corner of something. Let's pick it out. Damaged ledger. Something larger, a clipboard, a blue plastic clipboard with moist paper hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms of notes, written in a man's handwriting. Officer, is that your paperwork? I don't know what this is. Secret task, find your paperwork. Oh, that's right, because Silver, the front desk person, said that she had to pull it out of the toilet. It is, look, he points to the clipboard. The plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. A miserable looking slip of paper sticks on the board. If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let paperwork end up in the trash? Oh, am I going to die again? I have a foreboding that maybe I need to lose it for the great bloodletting to begin. Must have been cramping my style. Officer, this is official piece of paperwork. It probably contains notes on numerous ongoing investigations and could even list undercover operatives, informants. I suggest integrating it into your style for all our sakes. Easier said than done. How could this pathetic cabbage of copy paper or plastic ever become a tray disco? Alright, I'll do that. Read your ledger. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. He peers into the trash where soggy cartons of rags stinks uninvitingly. Now tell me what your ego will see or we've finished. Do we want the mug? You pick out the broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron. Oh, frolicking. An antique, only his social sensibility. Take the mug. The man briefly glances at the mug and then returns his sight to the trash. Okay. Let's have a look. What have we got now? I could have put the gloves on. What do the gloves do? Interfacing. Alright, let's have a look at our damaged ledger. It's a ledger you found in the trash. A pitful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging inside a board, barely held together by a metal clip. The sad display is made completely by the faint smell of urinal cleanser. Anything else? There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Alright. Inspect the toilet paper. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of your plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. Take it off. Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do now is shake it off your finger and voila, the ledger is now look marginally better. Let's inspect the clip. An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. Run your finger across it. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling and iridescent. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Looks like the official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances. Hey Lieutenant, what's this? What? He's lost in his own notes. It takes a moment for him to see it. That thing, it's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property. What kind of information? It depends. Aside from anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has station number and address. The information varies by date of issue. Maybe yours will have many cases you've solved. How can I read it? Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. Like? All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too. Cool. This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on. Okay. The white papers. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching the tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while there's a red stamp that exclaims case files, commit to paper. The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible. What is in there? What are they about? Work, strife, poverty. The Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51. This year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to the missing pages and an odd naming convention, but there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken. Not completed, mind you. Logic. In the middle of March, we have attempted 2 cases a week on average. What do you mean, is that all? 2 cases a week, good case. 2 cases a week, good caseload, Lieutenant. Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot. Yes, you really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it. Let's start making mistakes. 2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them though. 2, he raises both eyebrows. That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you're making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. I burned out, alright. That's okay. He then turns back to his own case files. We all do sooner or later. Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hands. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible. There's mention of naming convention. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has a case number written on the margins. You can still more still tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might even say, one that draws inspiration from a Snoop fiction and Vespertine cop shows. Staples. Oh my, they're written in capital letters too. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural, The Square Bullet Hole Murders, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear to be lighthearted. The guys on the couch in an unexpected location, The Murder of the Hooker Parlor, even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Later, once you're done inspecting them up close. I don't think we need to talk to Kim about that. Or is it worth clicking on all of them? May as well. You mean alphanumeric officer, precinct time of reliable? No, I mean non-numeric with titles. Oh, you mean titural? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does. Why is that? It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organisation had little idea how to do things. It persists in unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves. I seem to have a case, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one, The Man with the Hole in His Head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named that to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out. What happened to him? Rail spiked through his head. He died. It was a workplace accident. Let's just say that's it. The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover, a molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to the previous volume. In short, there was more. We'll count the pages. I have to open official cases their room. There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structured passage breaking case into a subpart and accomplishments. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete. Commit to paper. Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old worn down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. The ledger only comes with an old lead... It will do barely. Kim, do you have a pen? The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat shiny pens hang from the binder. The large caliber bullets, ammo belt. He's not really saying anything, just staying there, looking at them. Can I have one? Know that I give you this, he pulls out with resentment. With this beauty, commit to paper. Thank you, Kim. Poor Kim. He's got stuck with the worst partner. Damage ledger. The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily, it's almost robotic, simple. A language developed for mental rigour and simplicity. Inspect victim body, get the body down, interview cafeteria manager. Conceptualize. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. Cross out the ones you've already finished. Healed morale, we didn't need to do that. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say, and you. All the morale's coming back. You swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good, feels like completion. The thing to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is extremely useful tool for detective of the citizen militia. Now what remains is name the case. Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case? No, actually. Any ideas? The Furies at home. It's got to be the Hanged Man. It's just... It has to be. Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. Task complete. Read your ledger, name the case. Level up. He flicks through the page of the notebook. I'm going to start calling the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out. Alright, done inspecting. Browse the case files again. Oh, you don't need to close them. You distance yourself from the smelly papers. If we browse again, no, we don't get anything. Okay. Logic. Can I read the case files now? Kim explained the system. Yes, you can piece them together using alphanumeric code on the margin. It always brings it to HDB41, then the date of initialization, and then time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title, for example, blah, 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 blah. One of those officer precincts. Why, yes, your precinct number is 41, HDB. Every last alphanumeric in the file begins with them, and these are your case files. It's safe to assume HDB are your initials. Horace, Debbie, Beringer, Haram, and Dajan Binzakin. No, I don't know what to say that. I got nothing here either. Logic really isn't the best faculty to have in this conversation with him, but it's the one you've got, sorry. How long does it take to read a case? It takes about half an hour to piece one together using the system you've advised. Where do you want to start? I don't... Let's revisit this, because we've got... Like, this is still going. I imagine it would be... Like, are these all potential ones? Alright. Okay. Browse the yellow papers. In the back you see thin translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes like marching armies. These look like official forms waiting to be filled out. And then rip them off from the binder and hand them out according to type of form or type of forms. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easier enough to make sense of. Conceptualization. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. Misconduct fine. Monetary penalisation ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but they require special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields, but they appear pleasantly vague. Station call. These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date time for the person to appear at a specific precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. Perception. All in print so small it could be considered downright cute. In field autopsy, a dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in colour. You see parameters of deceased human form waiting to be filled in, age, sex, condition of internal organs. Alright. Yes, all that remains now is to fill out the forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsy dead guys. What delicious power hid within the pathetic mess. You feel better. Alright, the rest is thinking Salus is much worse for wear. God, if you haven't learned yet, my grasp of the English language is limited. Yeah, being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spread the fragile copy of paper. In the comments, can you tell me how to pronounce them? So I can gather from the context what it is, but yeah, just to pronounce them. Yeah, that would be good. Okay, let's look at the clipboard. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with it. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters RCM. Shake it. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? Perception. Or something small inside, light, made of paper or cardboard, or dried flowers perhaps. Permeables? Logic. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it. Peek inside. The plastic shimmers like latsy lazur, but it's not see-through. You cannot see to its center. How would I open it? Learned some long way. Open the hidden compartment, the clipboard. 72 is pretty good. We've got to level up. We've already put one level onto interfacing. I don't want to waste it then. Sneak under their noses. Savoir-faire urges you to be better than you are, urges you to be disco. Sit by others in Sumerian boxing style, then tumble out the back with unexpected acrobatics. Enables you to be silent, to groove to a good beat and lift useful evidence off purpose without them noticing. Also makes you a cooler cop, whose athletic fare will certainly impress the citizenry. Be the king of cool at higher levels. Nobody will see you until you're ready to be seen. That might be good. Composure wants you to not crack, or at least it wants you to not crack in front of other people. Actually, we've already got two down here in motor. Let's try something up in intellect. So we've done one on logic. Encyclopedia we've been using a lot, but not really in conversations or things like that. Okay. More just as little background information. Rhetoric urges you to debate, make intellectual discourse, nitpick, and win. Enables you to break down arguments and hear what people are really saying. That might be good. You'll spot fallacies as soon as they're used. What exactly did the waiter leave out of their testimony? What was the dancer trying to divert you from? That might be good. Drama. Enables you to lie. I'm not good at keeping track of lies. Conceptualization. Art cop. Enables you to make fresh association, delve into the world of concepts from blah blah blah. No, visual calculus. Not only laws step but laws of nature. Enables you to create a virtual crime scene models in your mind's eye. You'll see how bullets shattered. Also count many footprints, that's what we did before, and a glance discern shoe size and design. At high levels makes you the world reveal its secrets to you. I feel like rhetoric or visual calculus. Picking up people's lies, that might be good. Let's do that, because we're going to be talking to a few people coming up. So let's do this one. Yeah. Alright, let's give this a go. It's not what you end up doing. You squeeze a plastic to slide over, but nothing happens. Then you bend some, then crack it. The goddamn thing is stuck. So we can try again later. That's disappointing. Smell the ledger. The acidic strength of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat. The stuff is death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with citrus zest of toilet cleaner. Perception smell. You know, like the bits they put in the public piss bowls, probably called Fermaire Discrete or Axle or something. At some point in the journey, Ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet. I know, Silver already told me it dunked in the toilet. Yes. If you knew it was dunked in the toilet before getting chucked in the trash, why are you sniffing it? The option to sniff was there. So you wanted to get on with the trash toilet stink collab. Find out whether what happens to the two get funky together. Okay, pal. This is getting weird and hostile. Sorry, Nose. Let's just move on. Okay. Cool. All right. We got to talk to Kim. Yeah, let's...
Yes?
It doesn't look like... Tell me about the case. No more about the pissing competition, because that was the pissing competition. Apparently there was a pissing match at the precinct 41 and 57. Ask him about it after initial inspection. Cool. What's there to say? It's just stupidity. What kind of stupidity? The cop kind. Our precincts can decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the industrial harbour. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own part of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we let the union make the mockery of the law enforcement here. And now it's come to this natural conclusion. So this is a struggle over who runs Martinez. Well, sort of. It's less of a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district here, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you. Time to settle it, they said, cop off, but he leans in, I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest, with 102 cases solved. What I am, least interested in a pissing competition. So we volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness, on the contrary. What's special about Martinez? Martinez, nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. No one cares about this place. They care about sport. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist. I wonder what they say about me. They are sent by my station. He raised an eyebrow, thinking it best to let you make the next move. I'm going to leave while I was sent unspecified. Yeah. Okay, enough. Cool. So we did that. Oh, we can do it again. Sorry, cop. Sylvie suicide jokes. Failed. Oh, here we go. It tells you why he failed. Formidable. My 12. Logic 5. Dice 4. Plus 1 is 5. Which is 10 plus 2 is 2. Okay. Because you're being qualified? No, it doesn't seem right. Good for nothing. Oh, God, okay. Can we... Alright, we can't... Oh, God, our morale's going to break. Alright, we need to do the autopsy. But Kim doesn't want to do it at the moment. Read the watermarks. Who put the clothes in the trash? Alright, well let's... Kim's car's just down here. Let's do the watermarks. Let's tick some things off our thing. Now, how do I turn on the headlights? He turns the preheater on, waits, takes out the key and said, alright, ready, I turn, you press start. Next preheater, engine start. The dashboard lights up with orange glow, rounds per minute. Sorry, the sound. The round per minute gauge jumps in the engine, comes to life with a whiny growl. Like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time. Press the button, headlights. Cool. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light in the ground before the vehicle. Okay. Let's... If I stand here... Oh, cool. As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A streak grid in the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you. There she is, Revolche West. There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice. Around the border of the watermark are dozens, no hundreds of micro perforations. Look at the streak grid. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revolche are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kinema's headlight. Wait, look around you. A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in the voice no quieter than a child's cry. Martinez. Where are we on this? Let's see. He takes a ledger for a moment and inspects it. Right here. He says he's being near the top of the map, on a segment of coast just jutting into the great ocean. I'm sure I've seen worse. Oh yes. Coal City, Le Ramon, burnt out quarters. Look at the perforations. There are many of them and they divide into 3 separate rows. Tally up the different rows. The first row is 18 dots. Not bad. Not bad for what? You don't even know what it means yet. His conscience is very self-aware, and it's also taking into account how people play these kind of games. Well, speaking of course of myself, how I played it, you click on everything without necessarily thinking about why you're clicking on it, but this is bringing you back to that. You know, the option was there. Not bad for what? You don't even know. Like, if this was a real conversation, you've just made a fool of yourself. What about the next one? The next one is the longest. It runs all the way to the border and then some. Count them. There are so many it's hard to count, more than 150, maybe even 200. And the last row, 3. 3, that's it. What do these holes mean? Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They're your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look. Rhetoric. Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do, it's meant. The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? 18 years I've done this. That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those beautiful years of your youth? Got drunk like a megastar. Do you really think I have any idea? Fair point. Let's move on, shall we? The next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finish. You've got, let's see, wow, more than 200. Is that a lot? It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. I used to be good. That's some solace, I guess. What's the last number? Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there. So I'm a killer? For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is a general quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. It's obvious that the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers. But it seems as though you are at least were one of the good ones. So we have to be thankful for. Have you ever killed one, Kim? Yes. Declining to elaborate. How do you handle the strain? Everyone has their own method of coping, some more effectively or self-destructively than others. He gives you a meaningful look. Personally, I find it helps to keep a few hobbies. Maybe I should find a hobby. Why not gardening? You've already got the yellow gloves. Oh yeah. Okay. Right, I'll go turn off the lights. You can now see your statistics on your journal page. Right at the task, okay. Map. Oh, here we go, okay. People killed 3, case solved, years in service, honour, good cop, bad cop. Name unknown. Okay. Alright. What else have we got to do? We won't worry about going anywhere else just yet. Let's run the victim armor numbers, seeing that we're at the car at the moment. We'll talk to Alice. Because our precinct is shit. Could you run a serial number for me for a pair of armored boots? What's the number and the make of the armor if you know? Got it. I'll contact ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug out something useful by then. The International Collaboration Police is an intersolary law enforcement service, the crown jewel of the Moralintern diadem alongside EPIS and the coalition government. Alright, that's all we need to do with her. We'll run our fingers over. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch of the metal clutch. Handles so very familiar to your palm. Your fingers waste no time closing around the handles. Clutch disengage, release the handle, clutch drops, right foot yearns for a familiar touch of accelerator pedal. You're synced with the machine. Mechanical circulation. Do I know how to operate it? You feel an uninterrupted connection to the machine. Wait, does it mean I know how to pilot it? After a while you realise silence is your only answer. Do with it what you will. Of course it's only in your head, of course, but it almost feels as if the clutch handle gently squeezing back. How are you, my friend? The smell of freshly treated leather and the lack of dirt and dust on the dashboard, the neat little brush in the cup holder all seem to be whispering. Where have you been? Oh no. Despair creeps in you for getting fat, your weakness. Whatever noble intention you once had is eating them all up now. Ah, this is what happened. This is exactly what happened last time, and you end up quit. Okay. Lesson learned, there are consequences for clicking on everything. And I don't feel like that one was obvious, but potentially it was more obvious to others. I'm going to do what I did this time around and load. Oh, it's back there. This does not autosave very much. But it's alright. I'll load it and I'll go through what we've done back up to this point, and then we'll get back into it. So, any advice? I think we'll go through what we did. We got down the body. We haven't done the autopsy, but we found our ledger, which had a whole bunch of information in it. We spoke to Kim about the pissing contest. We opened the trash can where we found our ledger. We organised the serial number for the armour. We didn't really do much. It was a very conversation heavy and looking at our case file heavy episode, but that's alright. I'm really enjoying it, and it is a very in-depth game. I can see why it takes so long to finish, especially if you keep dying like I do. But I'm really into it. I think it's a game that you can get lost in, which I do enjoy. Any advice about this game, what I should invest skill points into, please let me know. Or for the channel, as I try and get it up and running, any advice would be great. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.